There are 9 cumulative factors that make a serial killer. The first is mother, the relationship between a serial killer and his or her mother. Oftentimes, we see that those relationships involve mothers who are either neglectful, inconsistent in their care, or extremely dominant, abusive. In the case of William Suff, we know that his mother was very dominating, and so that he didn't develop a sense of omnipotence, probably even as a baby. Factor 2 is genetics. All serial killers come from generations that have tons of generational trauma and genetics that predispose them for being more aggressive. Factor 3 is father, and fathers are either physically abusive, sexually abusive, emotionally abusive, or completely checked out, abandoning, or absent. Factor number 4 is the home life. There's no structure, no consistency. They often move a lot of the time. Factor 5 is that there's always a traumatic event that happens during age 3 to 5, where they start to develop what's called a paraphilia. In Suff's case, my guess is that something with the breast happened around that time. Paraphilia, for those of you who don't know, is a fetish or fixation of an image. Factor 6 is brain injury. Every serial killer I have ever researched has a brain injury, and often more than one. Factor 7 is bullying. They're bullied in the home, and then they go to school, and kids can sniff this stuff out, and so they get targeted for being different and weird. Factor 8 is ages 8 to 11. This is another critical traumatic event that happens during this time, usually severe bullying or sexual abuse, or both. And now the serial killer starts to fantasize around this time about dominance. And so now we've got a fantasy world that in their minds around 8 to 11 that consists of their paraphilia and a world of dominance. And then factor 9 is hormones. So now their hormones kick in, which, you see, you've got a pressure cooker of all the things I've just listed, building and building. And so they start acting out. And then it starts to escalate. And that's what happened with William Suff. When you look at a crime scene, you get a keyhole into a serial killer's childhood. Every serial killer comes from family systems that have major boundary violations. They're actually trying to process something that was abusive or traumatizing. And they might say things like, I had a normal childhood, but that's because they were told that it's normal to have yourself be beaten or sexually abused or neglected. So it gives me a sense of who these people are and ideally how we can get to the root of the issue to stop them as soon as possible. Fortunately, we knew with the Riverside Killer that he was targeting a specific group in a specific area, and so that was helpful.